Hi, good evening. I believe you are doing well. Quickly, I just came to share something with you. Um, we all go through challenges, pains, and sufferings, and we usually look at them to be negative and we are not happy about them. But I just want to share with us that sometimes some of this pain and suffering, God uses them to make us become who He wants us to be. I know it's not pleasant to hear that, especially when you are going through, difficult problem. But that is it, that God can use our pain, our suffering, our challenges to mold us to become the kind of person He wants us to be. And usually when we are encountering problems like that, we are quick to say that, oh, the devil is doing this, the devil is trying to kill us, the devil. But again, I want us to know that it's not every problem, it's not every suffering that is meant to kill you. That is meant to, because some of them actually are meant to make you better and stronger. The Bible says in Romans chapter 8, verse 28, says, and we know that all things work together for them that love God, to them that are called according to His purpose, to them that are called according to His purpose. So what it means is that as believers, our lives are in God's hands, and there are times you might encounter a situation, but I believe that if God does not allow it, it won't happen. Just like God had to give the devil permission before he could touch Job. So whatever happens, we have to understand that if God has allowed it, then there is a reason, there is a purpose for it. And what is it? And some of the things I want us to briefly look at some of the things that pains and suffering, can do in our lives positively, to mold us, to change or shape our character to be what God wants us to be. And one of the things it can do is that suffering, pain, difficulties can humble us. They can really humble us. And sometimes God is calling us into an assignment. He wants us to do something for Him. But He looks at us and maybe we are a bit arrogant. We are proud. And He knows that we can't do what He's calling us to do with that kind of attitude. He needs to break that away from us. So sometimes we might have to lose even our job, where all of a sudden, where we were self-sufficient, we didn't need anybody, we felt everything was okay, we had everything together. All of a sudden, we now have to go around looking, depending on people. Then it humbles us. It really humbles us. And when we come to that point, then we are ready for God to use us to do what He wants to do. And that's one area. The other thing is that sometimes these pains and this suffering and difficulties, they make us become sensitive, because most of the time we are walking about, we are not really sensitive to other people's needs, other people's problems, and we are quick to judge people, we are quick to condemn them, we are quick to label them with names, because we can't identify with some of the issues that they are going through, so we really don't even understand. And so there are times it's necessary for God to allow us to face some of those challenges. Sometimes even, sickness. When you are sick, you go through pain, the agony of being sick and all that. When you come out, it makes you to understand where other people are coming from, and you begin to be more sensitive to people's problems and all that. Other thing that it can do is that difficult situations can really make us become prayer warriors. And trust me, a lot of us, we became prayer warriors and we learned to pray because we had to deal with certain difficult situations, certain problems, certain pain. And that was when we began to look for prayer lines to go and pray. That's when we began to join prayer meetings. That's when we began to form prayer groups. That is when we understood what it meant to go on your knees and pray. If we had not encountered some of the problems, trust me, some of us would never have been prayerful or would never have been able to pray that much. But you see, God is calling us into a ministry, into an activity or something He wants us to do. And He wants to make sure that we are prepared for it. And one of the ways we can be prepared for some of the assignment is to be people who are able to pray, who understand prayer, who can pray. So if some of their sufferings will bring us to that point, then it's not that bad at all. And again, some of us, we are kind of selfish, if I should put it that way. And God sometimes want to bring us to that point where we can come out of our comfort zone. We can begin to be selfless a bit, where we can also be there for people. And most of these things that I've mentioned, it is only when we go through when we go through suffering, we go through difficult times. And patience is one of them. Sometimes God is trying to bring us to that point where we are patient enough to be able to understand him, to be able to walk with him, to be able to follow his direction, to be able to wait for him. And God sees that we are not patient. We are everything. We want to giddy. So he has to find a way. That's why sometimes we have to wait, sometimes for too long. For a very long time before we get our spouses. Sometimes we have to wait before the children come. Sometimes we have to wait before we get a job. God could have done it earlier for us, but why does he wait? Sometimes it's just a process where he's molding us, where he's building us up, where he's fixing us, where he's working on us to bring us to that point, to make us who he wants us to be, to prepare us for the kind of assignment, the kind of project, the kind of work, the kind of calling he has for us. And that is why sometimes we go through all that. So, hey, it's not every pain, it's not every problem that is meant to kill us, nor destroy us. Some of them are there so that God can use that opportunity to work on us, to bring us to the point, to make us the kind of woman he wants you to be, to make you the kind of man he wants you to be, to make you the kind of gentleman and the lady he wants you to be. So when we find ourselves in some of these situations, let's pause and ask God, what do you have for me in this? What do you want to tell me? What do I need to learn in this situation? And I believe that when we take that positive look or positive view on issues, it will help us to understand why we are going through what we are going through, and will benefit more rather than thinking that it has come to crush us down. I believe this has been a blessing. God bless you and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.